goodness. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, full of surprises.
So's the road.
Sucks all the sand and dirt out.
I don't see him.
To get the gold. Might do it in a minute.
Hey, Heather,
Yeah.
turn your head and look down the
this
window
way.
way back.
Where is he? No, he's not down there. He must be up,
No,
must be up
sorry.
further.
Sorry, I'm wrong. I forgot.
You go back home and you tell all your friends
Well, I
about
blog about it and I write about it
how
already.
friendly the
So.
Kiwis are.
Yep, I do actually. I'm now in Punakaiki, known for its pancake rocks, which I will get to tomorrow at high tide, because that is when the water goes through a blowhole. I'll figure that out tomorrow. Staying at a lovely hostel. This is the front yard, the ocean behind me, and mountains behind me this way. So I've just come from Hokitika, which I really loved and was making me reflect on one of the interesting things I find about long-term travel and getting back into the rhythm of things. I find at the beginning there's sort of like figuring out a pace, your way of doing things, your comfort level, and what happens for me when I'm in it is what started happening in Hokitika, which is that I just started meeting people. Like everybody I met seemed like a new friend. I actually met a couple in a restaurant because they liked my pants that I got at the op shop in Kerikeri. So shout out to the op shop in Kerikeri, St. John's. Thank you for those pants. And then I, got friendly with the bus driver. And when I took the bus from Hokitika to here, I met two ladies staying not just in the same place, but the same hostel. So it's kind of like this energy of, meeting friends and then in one city and then making new friends that take you to the next city, and it's just lovely. Talk about the perfect place to just chill for a couple of days. Amazing. This is probably somebody's batch. So that was a word I learned early on here, not like a batch of eggs or something, or a batch of goods. A batch, B-A-C-H, is a sort of a cottage that you might rent and enjoy a place like this. Remember what I keep discovering, you think you've seen the most beautiful thing and then you just walk a few more steps and then you rethink that and think it again, and you know that you'll walk some more and find another incredibly beautiful thing. That's New Zealand. I love when vegetation meets beach. So pretty. Punakaiki is known for its pancake rocks, and you're supposed to go at high tide so that you can see the water come out of its blowholes. And I was told that high tide today is at noon. These are the cliffs that I showed you from the beach, and they're pretty impressive up closer. A view of the beach this morning. This is basically the center of town, Punakaiki. There's a restaurant here and a souvenir shop. There is a pub down by the hostel where I'm staying, but this is pretty much where the action is. So if you come to Punakaiki, just so you know, it's a very small town, and these cones are where the bus drops you off and picks you up, which is quite a long hike from my hostel. So we are hoping that our hostel owner, who's so funny, will give us a lift to get back up here. And by the way, right in that cafe, it was funny. I think I mentioned in my last video that I met this couple because they liked my pants, and that was in Hokitika. And yesterday when I was here, they come running over. They were now here and they recognized me, so that was fun. So it's pretty well marked where the pancake rocks are. I'm going to take a look now because if it's different at high tide, I kind of wanted to get the sense of what the difference is. So we'll get a quick morning shot. Very nice walkway to get there. Oh, look, and a bird has joined us. I'm not sure what kind. Hello, what kind of bird are you? And you don't even seem that shy. That's crazy. Hello. Wow, are you actually gonna like come over to me? I think you are. That's really freaky. Hello. Nice to meet you. Lookout number 1. Sun is starting to make her morning appearance, and I'm sure I'll be putting my hat on soon. Looks like another viewing point. This is explaining how these rocks were formed. Really pretty. And you can see how the rocks basically are like stacked on top of each other. Thus the name, the pancake rocks. This is pretty amazing. Okay, I really appreciate the sign, having seen the number of idiots that do stupid poses for Instagram and such. Yeah, this is a good sign. And look at this. Wow. Even the walk to see them is gorgeous. I love how they've made it. Somebody has good visioning skills. I imagine when I come back later, it will be full of tourists at high tide. So this is low tide, just to give you the perspective. There's the beach that I showed you earlier and the cliffs. I believe the birds are terns. And there's a local community here. Okay, now the walk is getting scary. Sort of. We're walking in the pancake rocks. Huh. You can see how different everything looks when the sun's come up. You can see that since this morning the water has swelled up a bit more. I was told the water's a bit calm today, so we might not have as big a show as we want, but we'll see what happens. And there are more tourists now. What a difference a couple hours makes. You see a whale?
Seals and dolphins.
Spouting that there, please.
How about a unicorn?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll settle for a whale.
water is so pretty.
Have you been up Northland Way?
Yeah.
Yeah? Like the beaches over there.
There'll be a little big splash there now. Yeah, that's about all you'll see.
So
but
it's
if it's a stormy sea, it will really push the water up.
So it's a lazy high tide today.
Yeah.
Okay. And over there is a cavern. And if you put a headlamp on, you can actually walk into it. If you come to Punakaiki, this is the tavern at the other part of town, if you can call it that. Also over here is the Punakaiki River hiking track where I'm gonna head now. You can rent a kayak or a canoe and actually paddle through here. I have to admit, I was expecting Punakaiki to be just a stop-off point to see the pancake rocks, and for many people it is, but I am amazed at all the other things you can do here. You could actually just come here for a few days and just completely chill. It is a really chill place. There's not much here, so you could sit on the beach, just enjoy this really peaceful vibe. Or you can also do the hike that I'm doing. There's canoeing. There's a really neat group of people to meet who travel through here. Really fun place. This is just Mother Nature being beautiful. Kayakers on the river. See how each thing I'm showing you looks like it's even more beautiful than the last thing I showed you? You might even say that about one video to the next. Another tip for you, especially if you're going to stay here overnight or for a few nights, the area that I showed you as downtown with the restaurant and so forth, the restaurant does not have Wi-Fi. They also don't have drinking water, tap water. You have to buy the water. In fact, if you come to this town, you'll want to actually shop for your food before you get here, unless you plan to eat every meal out, because there's no ATM here, there's no supermarket. The closest one is, I think, Greymouth, and if you don't have transportation, like in my case, you won't be able to get anywhere, so just make sure that you bring something with you. And also, the cellular service is very weak, very limited, not readily available, so if you need to make phone calls and reach people, it's going to be very difficult, and for them to reach you. And the Wi-Fi you'll find basically in the tourist office and your accommodation. And it is decent, but just more limited than in some other places that I found in New Zealand. Look, it's the most beautiful place you've ever seen.
Watch me go.
Times I'm glad I'm short and thin. This path just led down to this little cave. Wow. I've reached the end of the path, the river track that reaches to the fork where you can continue onwards. There's apparently a suspension bridge. I believe if I went that way, as often happens because travel is divine for manifesting, Someone just showed up as I was wondering which path to take to the suspension bridge and told me this way. Thank you, universe. Looks like I have arrived at the suspension bridge. Oh, it's pretty shaky. Huh. Not too far a drop, at least. Yep, I did just say that. This, by the way, is the other side of the track that I just took by the river. And through the woods, but I'm not going to grandmother's house. This is really beautiful and very meditative, gorgeous woods. And sometimes you have the most unexpected viewpoints. And another crazy, beautiful, unexpected viewpoint. That was a long walk and I'm not really sure I'm going the right way. And this suspension bridge, well, from an angle it didn't look so safe. But anyway, I guess I'm crossing this to get back to my hostel in the road. Wish me luck! Oh, this is even more bouncy than the other one. Gotta love it. I'm now back at my hostel, and another really cool thing about travel, again, I told you about manifesting, so I was just on that hike. I had no idea how long it was. I think I was hiking for 3 hours, and I had no idea how much more I had to go, and I was just like, universe, please send me someone to drive me from here to my hostel that's trustworthy. And this couple that I met on the path that was actually going the opposite way of me suddenly showed up in their car and drove me back to my hostel. So thank you again, universe. I think a suspension bridge is a great place to leave you in suspense for the next video. So that concludes my walkthrough of Punakaiki. And as I mentioned, it is a great place either to pass through or to spend a little bit of time and just relax and take advantage of nature here because it is stunning. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you do so you don't miss out on any of the future episodes, and feel free while you're waiting for the next episode, as always, to stop by my website, heatherbegins.com, and take a really fun travel quiz or click around into my blogs and other travel information. See you on the next video. Bye!